Hi Facebook, it's Emma Davis here. I am tucked up in bed actually, doing a quick live. I've had a shocking day, absolutely shocking. But here I am, showing up for myself. And I just wanted to talk about when you grow, you are going to outgrow some people, and that's okay. It's hard, but it's okay. And so you all know I had an amazing week at the Luke Hawkins event and was just walking out on a high. It was amazing, just so happy, so excited about the future. And we've got some cracking business plans. Hello. And doing some great things with Global Veterinary Solutions and my business coaching and career coaching for veterinarians, and got some really exciting things happening. And then on the way home from Sydney last night, I stopped in and had a cuppa, and I saw someone that I used to work with at the Department of Agriculture. And it was the most bizarre scenario because I had my cuppa, and then I went up politely and I said, "Oh, hello, how are you?" And we had a chat, and he was there with his wife and daughter, and he's obviously still working at the department and does very well at the department and is up serving. Well, if I say what he's doing at the minute, it'll give it away, so I better not say that. But anyway, he's in a high position at the minute and has been a number of times over his career. And yeah, but he introduced me to his wife, and with a strange story from the first year I met him when I was a graduate from 16 years ago. And I just thought, how strange. Like, he didn't say that we'd won Australia Day awards together, that we'd worked on, some massive reform projects, that we'd done some great work in animal welfare, that we'd worked together on live animal imports. So there's so many ways that he could remember me, that we'd shared multiple cups of coffee or had a quick chat over multiple cups of coffee over the years. But he chose to kind of cut me down to this awkward story that he remembered when I got food poisoning on my birthday or something, and it was just a shocking story, and it was, I'd forgotten it. I was fine, I just couldn't work that day. And so it was just really random how he chose that story to tell his wife and his 21-year-old daughter. And the back of my mind has been playing with that all day. I was just really fascinated. At the time, I kind of smiled at him, and I was like, "Oh, that's a really strange story to remember, that one. And how can you even remember that?" And then he said something about someone taking me out for dinner, which was true. Like, as he was telling me my story, I was recalling it, but I was thinking how bizarre that he's chosen this really awkward label to put on me, and that he's bringing that story back out. And I mean, he looked really unwell. He looked really unhappy, and really like he'd been pushing himself physically a lot, and that happens in the role that he's in. Like, he gives, they have to give everything to the job, and so I imagine he's very much under the pump. And here I was floating around on cloud nine, just coming out of a Luke Hawkins training. Anyway, I had a nice chat to his daughter. We were at the same uni. She goes to that uni where we were having our coaching course, and had a polite chat to his wife. And yeah, but it was playing on my mind all day today. And then I was just about to go to bed without doing my live, and I thought, hang on, what's going on here? Something about that interaction, and then my iPhone crashed yesterday as well. So, and if anyone knows me, they know that we've had the results of our court case over our house build back in the last couple of weeks too, and it's really hard news as well. So there's lots of pressures on, and then when the iPhone crashed, and oh my goodness, I run 2 online businesses, the pressure was on today. But usually that stuff doesn't get me down, and I can just, keep picking off the most important stuff to do. and stay above it all. But tonight I nearly didn't do my live, and there was just something in my spirit that was really sad or low or something. And then when I just settled in then, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm just going to admit defeat and go to bed, and I'm not going to do my live tonight. Then this image of this guy speaking this bizarre story over me came back up, and I was like, oh, like everything else in the last couple of days since doing the Luke course, you have to take full responsibility for everything in your life. And so I've been able to not be triggered by, the things that I would normally be triggered by, when you're in a really stressful situation in your court case over your house. It's pretty horrible and hard to come home to sometimes, even though it's a beautiful house, but there's lots of issues with it and it's quite difficult. But I can usually rise above that. So I have been rising above that with the Luke stuff. But this got me. And I just thought actually that story was designed to bring me down. And some people actually are mean. So I'm not mean. I can be mean with high D, high dominance, as well as a high I for influence. So I can be quite harsh and task driven. But I'm not a mean person. I have to be pushed pretty hard into a corner before I lash out at anyone. But some people, I guess, well, maybe they're likewise just feeling under such pressure that they think that they should cut people down and that will make them feel better. And it doesn't. I don't think that would make him feel better. But to hand out some random negative energy and some negative story and have fun at the sake of someone when there was thousands of nice things he could have said instead. It's a really interesting choice. So just be aware that as you grow and as you step up, particularly in Australia where there's a lot of the tall poppy syndrome, just be aware that people will be triggered by that and that some people will respond to that by trying to bring you down a few notches, and that you don't have to buy into that. And I think my spirit was buying into that today, and I think it took a wind out of my sails a little bit and created a bit of doubt around things. And I'm really, really happy with where we're at, and I'm really happy with the business. And it's not the easy route, but it's the route that I'm really happy in. And I was literally glowing coming home last night, like I was so excited. And I think that was that bright, shiny, happy energy actually offended him somehow in his pain at the minute. And so he had to kind of try and burst my balloon, if he could, a little bit. Now, I might be overthinking it, but I just think that I always try and build people up. If I've got a chance to speak into their world, I always build people up. I don't drag people down. So, your words have power. But you don't have to also be affected by other people's words. You just need to be aware that words do have power. And but just because someone's speaking a story over your life doesn't mean that you have to accept that story. And so I kind of kindly laughed it off. Hi, Kath, how are you? I kindly laughed off his belittling of me. I mean, I was a very accomplished public servant by the time I left, and but I left, and I think that's the thing. I think lots of people don't leave, and they sit there feeling trapped and knowing they could be more, and they don't do it. And I mean, it's an awesome career if you're still loving it. It's amazing. Like, I did some great things, and there's great work there, and you can really get some awesome experience and do some good things for the world there, for sure. But there's also a lot of people who are very unhappy there. Other people are writing their stories for them. And if you choose to accept those stories that other people are writing, then you're at the whim of and the mercy of those people. And if they're having a bad day or a bad month by the look of this guy, then, he's just dishing out negativity left, right and centre, and somehow thinking that that makes him better than me. I think that's what he's thinking, or I don't know. I don't know what his filter was. It was very strange. But Anyway, so I just thought I'd share that with you as you start to work on yourself and grow, and get happy and in alignment with who you are and who you are meant to be. Then this will probably trigger some people who aren't doing that, and hurt people, or hurting people hurt other people. And so if you're getting some strange reactions and comments, and they're not joining in being happy with you for being so happy, then it might just be that they're a bit triggered by seeing someone so happy and seeing that they have chosen to stay when in fact they could have chosen to go, if they'd just stepped up and backed themselves and changed their life. But anyway, so I do coaching for veterinarians, and I'll coach people who want to escape from the public service as well, because there's a whole wide world outside of the public service, and it's very addictive to be there. It can trap you into thinking there's nothing outside of it, but there's so many opportunities outside of it, and if you like variety and challenge and you're ready to step up and trust in yourself, then what do they say? The world is your oyster, or something like that. That's a strange thing to say. But yeah, there's so many opportunities. So if you're interested in being coached out of the public service, or being coached into excellence in the public service, or in your veterinary role and veterinary business, if you want to step up and make more money and enjoy your career and make sure that you're happy where you are, then I do coaching. And so just be aware of who's speaking over your world, and you don't have to take it on. And in fact, make sure that when you're speaking out over other people's worlds, then you're really considered in your words and kind, and that if people don't know how to deflect stuff, then they might, or they're always going to interpret it through their own filters. So just be as kind and as upfront as you can be. Okay, guys, glad that I did a very quick live, and I look forward to showing up for myself again tomorrow as well. Okay, love your veterinary career. Bye.